Welcome everyone, I'm John. This is the crypto channel of John too. And I'm here to educate you all about cryptocurrencies and what it is, what crypto really is all about. I think for sure that this is the new financial system. It's a good investment and it is the way that we are going to become soon. Now, it's still volatile and we still can make and not make some money. As long as you keep the wealth that you have and keep growing it, that means that you are making money, and that's the only thing that we really care about at this point, making sure that everybody makes some money in cryptocurrencies instead of not making any. And I've seen a lot of people not making money. So first of all, I was talking about the weekly just a minute ago. I had to cut the live stream, something went wrong with the mic and everything, and I'm starting all over again now. So sorry for the people that was watching my previous live stream. Let's go over it again so everybody can follow up what I was talking about. Now first of all, we have gone to the prior lows of this candle and that looks very bullish for me still. Like I said, this was a bullish candle and there is nowhere resisting here somewhere, so that means that we are definitely continues going upwards. We are still not even halfway the Bullring bands in the weekly, so we can definitely go higher. If we take the daily, we reached the top a bit. We had perfectly retracement, so this is a pin bar, a really nice pin bar even. That shows that we are going to the downside, and we have a pin bar also to the center subpoint. So I also like this one. That means that it is a possibility that we continue going upwards. And if we are not, we are definitely going back to the lower support here. That means we should hit around 21,000, 21,006 maybe, if we are lucky to hit even that low. Yeah, that would be around it, 21,675. That is why I put my end of the short, but my stop loss is following very shortly here because this was the start. We have already gained around 2.5%. That's not that much, but it's still a nice short. Here was a nicer one, of course. But I forgot to put my stop loss. I forgot to put my following stop, so we had a bit less. Otherwise, it would be already 15% made in a few days. Now, today is a crucial day. It's Tuesday, and I love always the Wednesdays. The market normally loves to change direction again. I've seen this time after time, especially on Bitcoin. I do not know why yet, but that's what typically Bitcoin loves to do. Now he's inside the Bullring bands halfway, so that means that we have plenty of time that we can still be in this channel. This is a very strong support, 23,000 and a bit. It's especially from the other side that it came already. If we break this support, that means that we're definitely going up. At this point, I can see that we are still going downwards. I cannot say that the direction will be changed by this doji yet, by this pin bar, because I have no idea. It's still 7 hours before this day closes, of course. We are on the Bitcoin chart for the people that are just joining, and I am John. I'm just teaching you people what I am being taught and the few years experience that I have in the crypto market. Now, we can perfectly see here that we have now a top tweezer, and halfway tweeze really. That also means that the market could change direction, especially because this is a support level. Even the center of the Bullring bands is a nice support. But does not mean that we are definitely changing direction upwards. I cannot say that. And in the front, I need to wait until this candle is perfectly formed. In the 4-hour chart, we were squeezed together and then it is sliding down. The down part, we are heading back to the topper halfway. So that means that this could change, that this is a reach point for an entry and that we are definitely going back to these prior lows, because this has no idea for change. Here it's nicely, like you can say here, the 4-hour pin bar shown perfectly on the side. That means direction changed. You can see it does what it has to do. Now it has to break halfway, and then that means that we are definitely going back up to 24,000 first of all, before continues to the downside. Ethereum, what has he done at this point? He has dropped a bit to, he dropped like 1500. I hope people were measuring this one. I talked about this previous levels that we could hit. I even thought it was going down to around 1400. This level would be nice to see it retest before continuing upwards, but this is a harder level to break through. You got quite some support here. Let me take a look at the daily. Yeah, we have quite some support here. So it hit and it went straight back up. So people are definitely still buying Ethereum in the thought that it will continue going upwards, and that's still possible. $2,000 is definitely in the cards that we can still hit. Also here we can see the pin bar reaching straight the halfway of the Bollinger Bands and continues upwards. These are so accurate, these pin bars, and you can really put a nice entry on them. If you are watching this and by the end of the day you should have known we are going up. Okay, the end closed here, we had a perfect entry at this point and we will continue going upwards. These are the most common things that I use to take a look what the market is doing. Let me take a look what the volume says at this point. Close off the Bollinger Bands for a second. The volume is not particularly high, and Bitcoin the same. It's not high at all. It's still a bit decreasing, so that's nothing special. Let me take a look. Volume close. Don't need. Okay, the EMA is still above the moving average, so that looks beautiful too. That means that it still is as it's supporting, using as a support. Let me take moving average. No, not that one I meant. The relative strength index I meant. Let me take a look here. We're still going upwards. That looks good. Even if the market is here downwards, it's only slightly decreased. So it's still, well, it's a lower high, so I don't like that. That I do not like. From this one to here, you can see it's slowly a very small one, but it's a lower high. So that means that the market is changing of direction too, and that I do not like to see. If you draw here a trend line, you would see it perfectly that the market is decreasing. You can see we are here around 61, and if you go further, you can see it's a bit decreasing. So that I do not like to see. It should be increasing because the market here was also increased. And if we are going down this side, that means that we will head down this side too, because this was prior high here, and that was around 19 July. And this one is slightly higher here, but at the relative strength index, we are getting lower points. So that is not nice to see at all. So that could mean that we are definitely going downwards more. So we have to take an eye at this, because I did not look at this one before this week. We are making a higher lows, but we made a lower high here, so I do not like this lower high at all. In a few days we will definitely be able to tell what the market will be doing. We could still hit this pre-low and then continues upwards. If this one goes above again, that would be a nice sign to say, okay, we are continuously going upwards. Like I told people here in the beginning also of one of my courses, that this was a perfect buy-in. We would have been here, so that was a perfect buy-in. From here to now we would have been gaining a profit of about 30%, and that only in 46 days. People need to have a bit of patience, of course. Cryptocurrency does not happen and make you wealthy from one day. Having patience and doing consistently small growths and your wealth, that's the way that you are making a lot of wealth. And another way to make wealth, let the money that you create work for you instead of you working for money. That's something I learned today again. Not the easiest way to be learned that way, but it is true. People should know this. If you want to grow your money, let money work for you. If you do not know how to do that, I can give you a few pointers that you can take or listen to. If you ever want to read some books or listen to some books that can educate you in what finance is and everything around you, if you are interested, of course. This is one of them. I think it's still open. Let me zoom it in. The cash flow quadrant of rich dads. It's from Robert T. Kiyosaki. I hope I pronounced that right, because he did not have an easy name to pronounce at all. But it's a really nice book. I'm listening to it again. It's not the first time, and it will not be my last time. And he has some other nice entrepreneuring books if you ever are interested in growing your thoughts about the world and knowing how to look and have a wealthy mindset, because that's how you create wealth, making sure your money is working for you and that they create other, I call it like, first you are working for money, and that money you can let it create new babies for you, so I call that also the money, the second money layer, and the third money layer then. And except of, yeah, let me pronounce it like that. If you're working for money and you're still doing a 9-to-5 job, stop spending it. Write down everything that you spend your money on and decrease it by 1% every month. So 1% is not a lot. It's quite easy to do even, but you just have to know. So let me take a calculator. If you earn, say, 1,600 euros a month, if you want to decrease your spending, so if you spend that completely, that means that you are not saving anything, so that would not be smart at all. But if you are doing that, say, that's okay, and you want 1%, minus 1%, so that means that you would be saving 16 euro the first month. That's quite easy to do. Set that aside before you are spending your money. That's one. The next month, you get again that amount from your boss, of course, and then you set aside 2%. So that's again 16 euro more than the day before. By the end of the year, you would be saving 120. You would be saving 12% of your money. So if you have 1,600 minus 12%, that means that you would be saving 192 euros every month from 1 year from now. So that's a lot. If you can continue this till 12%, that's more than enough. The rest you can spend what you want to, but I would suggest to save at least 192 euros a month and not use it for anything else than using this money to create more wealth. And how do you do that? You invest your money. You can invest your money into a lot of stuff, but the easiest way for us is to make it accountable and making sure that it creates new wealth for you, of course. So one of these things is like cryptocurrency is one of the investments that you can be using. If you are only investing a year from now, that would be perfectly possible. That means that you are in August 23 and you're still young, blah blah blah, you're still okay, you still have a lot of time before 24 then, and you can still make some money in it, because we will be down here by that price action. I see Ethereum go to a price action from 400. So if you get along 192 a month, if you can do this for 4 months, 192 for 4 months, that means that you have 700. If we get an Ethereum down here and you can invest this money back into Ethereum, it's just a suggestion, it's no financial advice, of course. That means that you can have like 2 Ethereums. almost. Make it 1.5 to be sure. So if you have 1.5 Ethereum and it goes back to prior highs for the next bull run, that means that your 400 euros that you had became 4,800 in the next year after that you bought that. So that means that you have done your money 10x. You don't have to wait before it hits that high to take your money back out of it, of course. Be sure to always make money. So if we do this, do it smart,